guys, we're back. We're going to be doing another breakdown this week. It's going to be the White Contender Series 2020 Week 4. And it's a pretty good card, actually. I like this one. Yes, we're just going to get right into it. The first fight of the night, it's a middleweight fight. We got Colin Huckbody taking on Kyron Bowen. Huckbody's fighting out of Jackson Wink, so notable camp there. His opponent, Kyron Bowen, he's fighting out of Family Combat Fitness, lesser known camp, and it's in Arkansas. Huckbody, 25 years old, 7-2 record, 4-fight win streak. He's fought some pretty good competition overall. His opponent, Kyron Bowen, 26, 9-4. Bowen, he's won 7 fights in a row, but not faced great competition. He is coming off a win just a couple months ago, while Huckbody has yet to fight in 2020. And Bowen did fight another fighter who came out of Jackson Wink in his last fight. That guy was 4-10, and he was able to take down Bowen, control him for a period of time. I feel like maybe Jackson Wink's coaches might have saw that, think this is a good matchup for Colin. Kyron Bowen did get a badass knockout with the knee in that fight, though, and he's a low-volume fighter. He has a good jab, 1-2. Doesn't throw much, but you know, he likes to grapple primarily. He'll put combos together. Looks like he has some power, 5 knockouts, but brown belt in jiu-jitsu. He finishes other 4 wins by submission. And his takedown defense isn't great, though, so, you know, I see Huckbody taking him down, and off of his back, he doesn't look the best. He can take down some, you know, regional scene guys, control him, beat him up on the ground, but Huckbody, who's a good wrestler, I've seen him struggle with lower-level wrestlers, so I feel like Huckbody would definitely probably be able to take him down. He has been submitted by rear naked choke 3 times. And Huckbody is a pure grappler, a huge guy for the division, very long, lanky. He does have a decent jab. He likes to, you know, throw a lead hook, shoot in on the legs after that. Great cardio. He can keep reshooting, mat returning. And, you know, he doesn't really let fighters get in a striking rhythm because he's always trying to duck under, get in on the legs. Once he can get on top, he's an aggressive passer. Good arm triangle, good ground and pound, good control. Kind of slowly chips away at you. And he was controlled against the fence. Couldn't really get his wrestling going when he fought a UFC level fighter in Bavon Lewis in LFA. Lewis was just a little too strong, too explosive for him. He does have good heart, good cardio. He's a tough dude. My pick is going to be Huckbody by submission here. I just think he's the superior grappler. I think that you know, he's going to be able to get on top, wear on Bowen a little bit. Bowen will give his back, and I think he'll lock in that rear naked choke for it. Bowen's 4th rear naked choke loss here, so the pick for me is going to be Colin Huckbody. And up next here we have Anthony Romero taking on Mike Breeden. It's a lightweight fight here between a Canadian and American. The Canadian, Anthony Romero, is 7-0, and he's defeated some fighters with solid records. 6 of Romero's 7 opponents have had winning records, but Mike Breeden will be the most experienced fighter he's ever faced at 8-2. Breeden, he is riding a 3-fight win streak, and he did have a highlight reel knockout in his last fight with the flying knee. He's fought some pretty decent competition himself the last couple of years, and both these guys are, you know, well proven. They're good fighters for sure. This is a good matchup for the White Contender Series. Anthony Romero, pretty well-rounded fighter, wide athletic stance, good punching combinations. He rips the body, he'll throw straight shots, very clean down the middle, really nice head kick. Mainly a grappler. He has good timing on his takedown shots, takedowns against the cage. When he gets fighters down, he has great control. More of a lay and pray guy to secure rounds, but he does have 2 TKOs in his last 3 fights. The latest fight I saw of his was his MMA debut in 2017, so he may have improved his striking a lot. I mean, he was a bit hittable, especially early in fights back then, but you could tell he's a great athlete. His striking had potential, and I'm sure he's leveled up a little bit. He's going to look a little more polished. I feel Romero's a solid prospect here. Well-rounded skills, good athlete, round-winning style. Mike Breeden, good striker, good movement. Definitely light on his feet, controls the distance well. Throws a lot of nice kicks, tries to be in and out with his punches. And he's good at when he gets fighters to the cage, he'll attack the body, he'll come back to the head. He'll let go extended combinations. He has good low kicks. He will get creative, you know, throw some nice high kicks, spins. And in his last fight, like I said, he won with a really nasty flying knee. He's fast, he hits hard, but he doesn't move his head at all, and fighters who throw back at him do tend to land. Doesn't really have the best boxing defense. He also gets hit with a lot of uppercuts entering range. Throughout his career, I've noticed he's fought almost exclusively strikers as well. He's beaten some good strikers, and he's good. He's tough. When he gets hit, he's willing to stick in the pocket, return. He hits pretty hard, but hasn't fought many wrestlers. In fights where I see people even threaten the grappling, he gets put on his back foot, and his offense slows. He has shown some decent takedown defense, and you have to be wary of his knees and overall good movement, counter shot ability when you do try to shoot in on his legs. But I think if he's tested against a wrestler, he probably will be taken down. Romero will probably have that game plan here. Calculate a little bit, be smart early, get the reads, then try to implement the grappling. Breeden hasn't fought people who have tried to grapple much less athletic guys that grapple like Romero. I think Romero should be able to hit the takedowns, win here. You could even get a TKO. I wish I knew more about Breeden on the ground and off his back, but from what I have to go off of, I'm going to side with Anthony Romero here. I think he's going to look improved from what I last saw as well, and I think he has potential, so my pick is going to be Romero. Another great fight here we have up next, flyweight bout, Jeffrey Molina, Jacob Silva. I definitely feel like this is a UFC level fight. Jeffrey Molina 7-2. He's coming out of Glory MMA and Fitness, training with James Krause, those good guys over there. He's young. He's 23 years old. And his opponent, Jacob Silva, he's 9 years older. He's 32. He's coming out of Metro Fight Club in Houston, Texas. Both fighters are coming from solid camps. And looking at Jeffrey Molina's record, he's yet to really fight many fighters of note. His last win was his best win over the 11-6 Kenny Porter. His opponent, Jacob Silva, is kind of the same. He lost his first 2 fights of his career, but he's been undefeated since, but really against nobody. He did defeat a 4-0 opponent in his last fight, but he's never fought someone with more than 7 fights. Jeffrey Molina, as a fighter, he has good movement, good distance control, switches stances, long punches, but definitely prefers to kick, is much more of a kicker. Calf kicks, hard body kicks, high kicks. Good grappling, good in the clinch, good tie clinch, knees, elbows, good double leg. His takedown defense is strong. On top, he has great control, good mount, good back take. The worst part of his game right now is him being stuck on bottom, but he is hard to take down. His last opponent did take him down when he went for a flying knee, controlled him, took his back, but Molina was eventually able to get back up to his feet. Molina is composed, good cardio, young guy, he's clearly improving, so I like what I see from Jeffrey Molina. Jacob Silva, when you look at him on paper, he's old for flyweight, he's 32. But his nickname, the Little Animal, serves him right, man. On the feet, he turns up, comes forward, hands down, swinging bombs. He also throws some nice technical straight punches, short hooks. He's a technical brawler, large amount of volume, power for that division. He just wanes in, hands down, and forces guys to trade with him in the pocket. Really nice flying knee. He'll throw some kicks sometimes, but more of a puncher. His head kick is kind of tricky and nasty, though. And I do think he's kind of going to struggle to close that distance, defend the kicks from Molina here, and the overall just movement that Molina has. But in the small cage, he's going to be wanting to cut off Molina, back him up, unload on him against the cage. Pretty good takedown defense, but his wildness can get him taken down. He does have good get-ups, and he stays calm in bad situations. Good at turning in when opponents take his backing. On top, good guillotine. His get-up game isn't the best, though, which could be an issue for him in this kind of matchup. Silva's a beast, though, man. He's a finisher for 125. If he sees an opening, he goes for the kill. If he gets top position on Molina, that could be a big issue for Jeffrey Molina. Silva's going to have to stay solid for 3 rounds, keep the pressure, try to wear on Molina until he can land that devastating shot. Molina, he has the plus skills everywhere, though. He's the better fighter. His striking, his movement is slick. He's fluid. He can mix it up. He can hit takedowns. If Silva gets super desperate, I think he can clutch him up against the cage and, potentially hit the takedowns a little easier. Silva, I think, needs a finish to win here. He's finished all his wins anyways. Molina is likely going to outstrike him if it goes to decision, get a couple takedowns. I'm going to pick Jeffrey Molina here, but I feel like both these guys are UFC caliber. And Silva's live to get a finish. I mean, he's 32 years old. He's probably coming in here going for it 100%. And he always does. I mean, he's a dangerous guy. Molina has to take him seriously, but my pick is going to be Jeffrey Molina by decision here. And in the co-main event, we have a lightweight bout between the Brazilian Rafael Alves, the Mexican Alejandro Flores. Both these fighters are super experienced, stellar records. Rafael Alves 18-9, Flores 17-2. Flores, he's a Combate fighter. He's been competing almost exclusively at 145 throughout his career, coming up to 55s for this one. And his opponent missed weight at 155 his last fight. He's a really big fighter, so that's something you have to look at here. Alves, he is a grizzled veteran. He's training out at MMA Masters, a solid gym. He's fought some notable fighters, and he did get the Titan FC lightweight bout in his Titan FC lightweight belt in his last fight. And Alves, he hasn't fought in nearly a year and a half though. He's 29 years old. He still has some time to make a run, 4-fight winning streak, but he needs to get going now. He's super flashy, dangerous, athletic, explosive. He fights in bursts. He has a lot of inactivity in between though. When Alves goes, he goes though. He'll throw some wild knees, jump kicks, powerful punches. He can put your lights out. Nice straight punch blitzes, close the distance. If you start to chase him because he runs away a lot, he will plant and counter with big hooks, knock you out. That's how he knocked out his last opponent. He isn't very durable though, in my opinion, and he doesn't really like to fight very much. When I say that, I mean he has a lot of flash, pizzazz to wow the judges. He'll dance in the cage, try to pump up the crowd. He'll also, like fake being hurt or injured, then try to counter. Doesn't like to get hit. He'll flop to his back. He doesn't take leg kicks well. Fighters with good footwork, kicks on the outside, forward pressure, probably be able to dictate the fight and beat him. I'm just not totally sold on him. He does have 7 knockouts. He's been finished 3 times by strikes though. And he is a solid grappler as well. I mean, he will hit some takedowns. He is an opportunistic submission guy, but he gives up position for submission. Doesn't have good top control. He will try to jump on your back at scrambles. He will try to wrap up that neck in the guillotine. And he's threatening off his back, but he can be too comfortable there, just get controlled. I have seen him hit some good sweeps, some leg locks, and he does get very tired in fights, though. He gives up bad positions. He has 6 submissions, but he's been submitted 6 times as well. And he's a hard guy to trust just with his fighting style overall. Alejandro Flores, I mean, he has that shiny 17-2 record, but when I watched him, I wasn't super impressed with him. He has a good kicking game, good forward pressure. He has that Mexican heart, but definitely more of a kicker. He doesn't really have, great boxing, it doesn't look like. So both these guys are going to be wanting to be on the outside. Flores does throw a lot more volume, so that's going to be an advantage to him here in this fight. And I feel like he could potentially control on top and stay safe if Alves starts flopping to his back. Flores does throw some nice low kicks. I think he needs to target those. The thing with Flores is he can get a little bit wild closing the distance, and when he gets you hurt, he can get wild as well. I mean, one of his losses, he hurt the guy to the body and ran in and got hit with a spinning elbow that looked like very obvious, and he couldn't see it. So Alves, I feel like with his tricky style, he could potentially goad Flores in and get a big, crazy knockout finish or something, but I don't know, man. I mean, I'm going to go with the Mexican heart of Flores. I feel like Alves is kind of, checks out mentally, kind of a quitter. I don't want to say he's a quitter, but all 9 of his losses he's lost. He doesn't like getting hit. He'll check out. When he start getting hit with leg kicks, he'll just start flopping to his back. He's dangerous, though. I mean, you got to respect him. He can get the finish, so he's a fun fighter to watch, kill or be killed, but I'm going to go with Flores here. This is probably my least confident pick on this card. And then lastly, in the main event here, we have Jhonoven Pati taking on Jamie Pickett, middleweight bout here. Pati, 6-3, he's fighting out of Texas. Jamie Pickett, 10-4. This is going to be Pickett's 3rd appearance on the White Contender Series. He's lost his prior 2 fights there. So, take that how you want it. Maybe they think that he's going to be an opponent for Pati to get in the UFC, or they, see something in Jamie Pickett. Pati's 29, Pickett 31. Both these guys aren't that young, but both haven't really beaten great competition either. And when they've gotten step-ups, they lose. Pati does have probably the best win of either guy. He did take out Joseph Pyfer and took Piper's perfect record, actually, in November of last year. And Pyfer's the fighter we saw just compete on Contender Series a couple weeks ago and break his arm. But Pati, he's not a super impressive fighter to me. I mean, he's a big guy. He has explosive power, decent movement, nice kicks, counter punches. He starts very fast, tries to kind of take guys out of there. Nice front kicks up the middle, nice knees, flying attacks. And, he has some decent combinations. He'll hit that slip uppercut straight right hand combo. He'll blitz forward behind hooks to the body, then follow with the straight to the head, some nice knees. So, I mean, he has some tools, but he's very low volume and kind of waits and explodes a lot. He can get hit himself. And his opponent, Jamie Pickett, on the feet is very athletic. He's super long, 80-inch reach. He has some nice kicks, heavy low kicks, nice round kicks to the body, to the head. He'll throw some nice lead leg side kicks, oblique kicks. Pretty good movement and decent head movement as well. He uses his reach pretty good. I mean, he'll use that cage, move around. But he is a bit stiff, awkward on the feet, and he can overextend on his punches, heavy on that lead leg. He does have a fast straight right hand, good jab. He will switch stances, shoot the straights to the body, to the head. He holds his hands low, though, kind of relies on his reach, head movement. We saw in his last fight, Puna Soriano was able to come over the top, land some big overhands, rocked him, but he showed his toughness, man, and ate some massive shots in that one. Puna hits hard, and Pickett definitely has a chin. He's never been finished by strikes, and he's a dangerous guy. I mean, he'll land some knees to the body. His punches are heavy, and he's a decent striker himself. Not a very good grappler for Pati. You know, Pati I wasn't impressed with his grappling that much. He doesn't dig underhooks when he's up against the cage. He'll just sit flat there. And Pati can be taken down very easily. And his bottom game is not that good. I mean, he did catch a nice guillotine on a tired Joe Pyfer, but that's his only submission. And that was kind of like Pyfer, you know, was getting blitzed a little bit by Pati, panic wrestled. Pati just caught the neck when Pyfer was against the cage, a little tired. So it wasn't like he, you know, caught a slick guillotine or anything. But, you know, off of his back, he gives his back to stand up. He doesn't have a good guard. Puna Soriano, who's a mutual opponent between the two, was able to drop Pati, got him in a rear naked choke. And in a dominant round when he fought Kalen Hill in the third round, he took Pati's back, he flattened him out, landed some big shots. And Pati was extremely gassed in that third round versus Kalen Hill. He didn't throw anything, basically just gave the third round and the fight away. And Pickett, on the other hand, is a strong wrestler, very strong in the clinch, good timing on his takedowns, and when he gets on top, he'll look to progress a dominant position, rained out big ground and pound. 8 of his wins have been finished by strikes, mostly on the ground, and he will take the back also when you give it, which I do like to see for this matchup particularly. He can get reversed, and some fighters, you know, have been able to take him down before. Pickett isn't the best off his back, but against Pati, I don't think you have to worry about that. You know, Jamie Pickett should get the win here. I think he's a pretty good fighter, to be honest. He's long, he's a plus athlete, fast hands, sharp hands, good kicks, good chin. His defense could definitely use some improvement, but he could take it right now, and his volume is going to be higher than Pati's. And if the fight extends past the first round, I think he's definitely going to have a lot more volume. Pickett just needs to stay long, use the range, the jab, the straight kicks. When Pati wants to close the distance, make it a brawl, you know, clinch up, push Pati against the cage, work for some takedowns. Don't really invite that type of thing. Start to wear on Pati. If Pati starts to get tired, I could see Jamie catching a shot on the feet, dropping him, finishing him with ground and pound, or taking him down and getting in a dominant position and closing the show with shots. I think Pickett is being brought back for a third time, not because the UFC wants to use him as an opponent, but because they see a big, athletic, tough guy, pretty well-rounded, who pushed Puna Soriano in a close decision. Even though it was 30-26, a couple of those rounds were competitive, and, you know, Pickett showed something to that fight, in my opinion. I feel like he's the more UFC-level guy and should get the win here, more experienced as well. So Jamie Pickett is going to be one of my more confident picks here on this card. But so that's the breakdown for the Dana White Contender Series, guys. Just like last week, the last couple weeks, going to be doing the same format here where the full betting perspective is going to be over at Odds HQ. So I will put that link in my community tab in the description when it comes out, in the comments below on YouTube or on Twitter. So check it out wherever you could find it, and make sure to support over there. Drop a comment, drop a like, and let's try to make some money this week on the Contender Series. You know, hopefully we can have another winning week. Thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.